Present.
Councilman Hewitt. Present. Councilman Landry.
Present.
Councilman McDaniel.
Present.
Councilman Murray.
Present.
Mayor Mosca.
Present.
Police Chief Dickinson.
Unemployed.
Fire Chief Constantine.
Present.
And David Purcell, City Attorney.
Present.
I got a motion from Hewitt to amend the rules so that we go to executive session first. All those in favor?
Second.
Any opposed? Second by Murray. 5 days, no days? Okay. The support group available in our community, basically April has been proclaimed as the Parkinson's Awareness Month. And this proclamation will go out in the mail tomorrow, but we do want to recognize that. You get it, Madam Clerk? Madam Clerk, any other presentations? Anyone wishing to address the council is welcome to do so at this time. Approval of the minutes. Madam Clerk?
Reading of the minutes of the council meeting on February 16, 2012.
I need to make a correction on that, Mayor.
Sure, Councilman Murray?
On the, and it was just a slight overage problem, in the minutes it states that on the ordinance that's due up, it's ordinance number 4 for the re-subdivision, it shows that I was, that I had, was first on it. That indeed was not the case. It was, I believe, or I should say Councilman Bodier that was first. He took it up because no one had come forth, and the mayor had asked if someone would please put it up because it needed to have its due process. And I think Councilman Bodier said he would do it.
You took our ordinance approving the reset?
Yeah, and it shows that I am,
Let's make that correction in the minutes, Madam Clerk.
okay, so if we make that correction in the minutes, then we'll need to go and make that correction on the ordinance itself. So
Right.
if you'll take Murray out as first, and then Councilman Bodier was offered by Councilman Bodier, and there was no second. Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Is there a motion after
Motion.
the correction in the minutes?
Motion.
Motion by Murray, second by
Second.
Hewitt, to dispense with the reading after the correction. All those in favor? Any
Yay.
opposed? 5 ayes, no nays. A motion by Hewitt, second by Murray, to approve the minutes as corrected. All in favor?
Okay.
5 ayes, no nays. Madam Clerk, we have communications. The Board of Adjustments and Appeals did not meet, is that correct?
That's correct. They meet in February.
All right, then we'll go to the planning and zoning minutes of March the 7th. Is there a motion dispensing with the reading? Motion by Bodier,
Second.
second by Hewitt, all in favor? Any opposed? 5 yeas, no nays. And motion by Bodier, second by Hewitt, to approve those minutes, all in favor?
Yeah.
5 yeas, no nays. Any resolutions from anyone?
No resolutions.
Next, we have ordinances for approval, Madam Clerk.
Ordinance number 1, an ordinance adopting a capital projects budget for the Recreation Department of the City of Harahan.
I'm sorry?
We need to read the whole ordinance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Madam Clerk.
He seconded.
We need a first and a second, please.
I'm first on it.
Murray.
Who's second?
Second by,
Second.
Second by Hewitt.
thank you. All right. And ordinance adopting a capital projects budget for the Recreation Department of the City of Harahan, Louisiana. Now therefore be it ordained by the mayor and the city council of the City of Harahan, State of Louisiana, acting as the governing authority of the said city, that Section 1, the below estimate of expenditures as reflected is hereby adopted to serve as a capital projects budget for the Recreation Department of the City of Harahan, Louisiana. Section 2, the adoption of this budget shall form the framework for monitoring and controlling expenditures as required by Louisiana Revised Statute 39-1310. Section 3, wall repairs, and the amount is $6,710. This ordinance, having been considered by section and as whole, then a vote was was taken and the vote was as follows.
All right, is there a motion to open this up for public hearing? Motion by Murray, second by Boudier. All in favor? Any
Yeah.
opposed? 5 yeas, no nays. Anyone wishing to address the council regarding this particular ordinance concerning recreation improvement? Motion to close the public hearings by Murray, second by Boudier. All in favor?
Yeah.
Any opposed? 5 yeas, no nays. Discussion, Councilman Landry,
No discussion.
Councilman Hewitt,
No discussion.
Councilman Murray,
No discussion.
Councilman Boudier,
No discussion.
and Councilman.
No discussion.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Any opposed? 5 yeas, no nays. Madam Clerk?
Ordinance number 2, an ordinance adopting the police budget of revenue and expenditures for the police department for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2012 for the city of Harahan, Louisiana.
Second.
Now therefore be it ordained by the mayor and the council of the city of Harahan, state of Louisiana, acting as the governing authority of said city that, section 1, it is hereby ordered that the following items be and they hereby serve as the amendments for the 2012 police department budget. Do you read all that?
Read the total, Mayor?
Total.
That's departmental total? Departmental total, $1,702,600.
All right, motion to open for public hearings by Murray, second by Landry. All in favor?
Yeah.
Out of 5 yeas, no nays. Anyone wishing to address the council on this particular ordinance is welcome to do so at this time. Motion by Murray, second by Landry, to close the public hearing. All in favor?
Yeah.
5 yeas, no nays. Council, discussion?
This way? No discussion. No discussion. No discussion.
You.
No discussion. I just want, if the police chief would come up and explain what he needed to do.
In January, we had 29 officers. We lost 9 of those officers. Therefore, the $960,000 we had allotted, we cut the budget down to $370,000 approximately. Moved that money around, used it for training, equipment, different things. Now we've rehired 7 officers, new officers, most of which are retired from state police. We've got customs, DEA, we have an air marshal. We have one guy that was born and raised in Harahan, so we have a lot of real good, educated, top-notch guys working for us. We hired 7 more, and that's why we need $940,000 to pay for the 27 officers we have now, which is down from last year by only 2. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, any discussion? Councilman Daniel?
No discussion.
Oh,
Discussion.
all in favor?
Yeah.
Any opposed? 5 yeas, no nays. Madam Clerk?
Ordinance number 3, an ordinance amending ordinance number 1731, the annual budget of revenue and expenditures for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2012, for the city of Harahan, Louisiana. Now therefore be it ordained by the mayor and the council of the city of Harahan, state of Louisiana, acting as the governing authority of the said city that, section 1, the below estimate of revenue and expenditures as reflected in the summary herein be and the same is hereby adopted to serve as a budget of revenue and expenditures for the city of Harahan for the fiscal year January 1st, 2012 through December 31st, 2012. The adoption of this budget amendment shall form the framework for monitoring revenue and control expenditures as required by Louisiana LRS 39-1310. Attached hereto, made a part hereof, and marked Schedule 1, is the line item budget. Any line item adjustment, reallocation within a departmental budget after final approval shall be submitted to the mayor and council for approval through a budget amendment.
And the total, Madam Clerk?
The total expenditures is $5,509,725.
A motion to open this up to public hearing by Murray, second by Hewitt. All in favor? Any opposed? 5 ayes, no nays. Anyone wishing to address the council on this? Let me say this, just for some confusion. This is a line item budget. We have, under the laws of our city, line item budgets in place. We have to comply with the line item budget. Anyone wishing to address the council is welcome to do so.
I have a question. Judy Johnson. The first one was an ordinance adopting the police budget. The second one is an ordinance amending the police budget. Isn't this the city budget? $5 million?
Well, this is to amend the, a specific amount for the police department.
But $5 million? That's the total,
No, it's-
$5
But it's two
million?
separate orders, you gotta change your original orders.
But it's not the police budget, is what I'm telling you. Ordinance 1731 has got to be the city budget.
No, this one right here doesn't say it's the police budget.
No.
Yes, it does.
No, it does, number 3? Number
Number
3 does
three, an
not.
ordinance amending ordinance number 1731, the police budget of revenue and expenditures.
No, you guys are the wrong one. It says, an ordinance amending ordinance 1731, the annual budget of revenue and
Okay.
expenditures.
That's the problem.
Thank you, though.
Thank you.
The city clerk is about to ask for a second on that.
Second.
Hewitt. All right, motion to close the public hearing by Murray, second by Hewitt. All those in favor?
Yeah.
Opposed, 5 ayes, no nays.
I'm looking at it.
Discussion,
No discussion. No discussion. No discussion.
Bodier, Murray,
No
Hewitt.
discussion.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Any opposed? 5 ayes, no nays. Madam Clerk?
Ordinance number 4. An ordinance approving the re-subdivision of Lot 10, Square 1, Colonial Club Estate subdivision, City of Harahan, Parish of Jefferson, State of Louisiana, made by Garth Cook, dated November
Excuse
29th.
me, point of order, Mayor.
Sure.
This only has a first, we need to call for a second first before we read
I
it.
have a second one, Mom.
That's where we just changed the ordinance because I made the correction from last month that this is the ordinance that we changed in our minutes saying that it was Councilman Bodier that offered the thing and there was no second, and there'll have to be a second.
Well, the second is just a read thing.
Right, so, anyway,
Yeah,
we'll
Daniel.
get a second.
Yeah,
Okay. I'm just correcting it for point of order.
right. Go ahead, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, I'm sorry.
Dated November 29, 2011, for 59 Glenwood Avenue. Whereas Garth and Tamara Cook, the owner of Lot 10, Square 1, Colonial Club Estate subdivision, City of Harahan, Parish of Jefferson, State of Louisiana, having petitioned this governing body to re-subdivide this lot as shown on the plan of Gilbert Kelly Couturier, dated November 18, 2011. Whereas the Planning and Zoning Commission of the City of Harahan did not recommend said plan of re-subdivision as indicated thereon. Now therefore be it ordained by the Mayor and the City Council of the City of Harahan that the plan of the re-subdivision of Lot 10, Square 1, Colonial Club Estate subdivision made by Gilbert Kelly Couturier dated November 21st, 2011, re-subdividing Lot 10 into Lot 10A, Square 1, Colonial Club Estate subdivision, City of Harahan, Parish of Jefferson, State of Louisiana, and Lot 10B, Square 1, Colonial Club Estate subdivision, City of Harahan, Parish of Jefferson, State of Louisiana, and the same is hereby approved. The mayor of the City of Harahan is authorized and empowered to affix his signature to this said plan of re-subdivision and to execute any and all documents necessary to fully implement this ordinance. The severability and repeal clause, as referenced in ordinance number 1566, is incorporated into this ordinance. This ordinance having been considered by section as a whole, a vote was taken and the vote was as follows.
All right, Mr. City Attorney, does this fail for a lack of a vote? Can we vote on this ordinance?
Yeah, you have a first and a second.
I know, but I thought it had to do with the, issue that, violates our, ordinance.
You
Okay.
need ordinance
I'd like to say a
1150.
few things on
Yeah,
that.
and I
Well,
don't see
I'd like to say a few things on that.
Okay. What?
I don't see it either.
Okay, let's open it up for public
Who's
hearing.
planning?
Motion by,
Yeah.
Landry, second by Bodie, open for a public hearing. All in favor?
Yeah.
Any opposed? Anyone wants to address this, step forward.
I'm saying without the survey, you can't.
Sure.
My name is Carl Lazzaroni, and this was brought before the zoning commission, and it was everybody was totally against it, and the whole neighborhood was against it. We presented a petition against it, so the person who wanted to do this didn't even bother to show up on the, and it's out of the city.
All right, motion to close the public hearing by, Rode, second by McDaniel. All in favor? Any opposed? Discussion, Landry?
I've been going back and forth with this ordinance for a couple of months. I'm talking to the city attorney a good bit. Now, if our law says that the lot has to be 75 foot, in my opinion, the first step would be a variance to go to front of the appeals board. I really don't want to vote this down. The guy gets stuck for 1 or 2 years if I can't come back with anything else. And he has a right to do something with his property, whether you're for or against it. But if we're looking to break the law, let's say, for lack of a better word, I think it needs to get a deal. I don't think we can legally subdivide an illegal lot. If we make a vote on either yay or nay, we're voting on an illegal lot, is what we're doing. So without a variance, I think it's a mute point. I may be wrong, maybe Mr. Villavasso can address that for us, Vinny. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I
Let's,
think that's what appeals courts are all about.
yeah, let's go through, and then we'll give Mr. Valdez up here. Councilwoman?
Just to his point, I don't know that the variance board will get Mr. Villavasso, our planning director, to come up and talk, but I don't think that the variance board, and correct me if I'm wrong, city attorney, that they can change a lot. Am I correct? No, only the council can change and re-subdivide a lot. So it doesn't belong in variance in the first place.
Well, you're looking to change the law, you can be granted a variance.
No, because if it goes to variance, if I'm not mistaken, if it goes to variance, then if there was a problem and they voted it down and go to 24th judicial. But we make the laws.
The point is, the variance board can't re-subdivide property.
Right, the variance board can't subdivide property.
They can't make a variance on, what is it, 725?
No, that's re-subdividing
So
piece
what
of
does a
property.
gentleman do that has a lot that's 100 feet, almost 200 feet long, and wants to try to do something with it besides put a single-family house on it? Where does he go?
It's not the point, who wants to subdivide the lot? It's not what he
Exactly
wants to do with it, he
Of
wants
course
to
I know what he
subdivide.
wants to do. I'm saying, where does a citizen go with a huge lot that wants to subdivide it, that,
They come to us, but there is a law stating that we can't do it.
Yeah, they'd have
Do you-
to ask, you guys would have to consider what you have as the footage requirements, right?
We would have to
let me
change
ask
the
this
law.
question, let me ask this
We'd
question.
have to change the law.
If we know this, why did we take the man's money? Why did we do all the steps that we made the man do if he couldn't have been done in the first place?
And I answered that, I asked the same question, and I said, why did it even get past our regulatory board? And the mayor said that the man knew this when he came up, he knew about the law. That's what I was told. And I had even asked him to say, I asked the owner of the property, I asked him, I said, were you aware of this? He said, yes, but I wanted to send it through anyway. So that was on him.
Can I say something?
Sure.
In the meeting notes from planning and zoning, Mr. Villavasso says that this request looks like a change to the ordinance, which would be ordinance 1150 that states that the fronts have to be 75. But if it's really a subdivision, it should be treated as a subdivision request and have the applicant apply for a variance subject to review by the Board of Appeals.
That is my
And that's what
Because
Mr. Villavasso said.
this is a very odd neighborhood. You have half the street on the golf course side at 75. You have half at 60, and you got the whole entire street on the other side at 50. You have 3 separate subdivisions on one street.
There are also 4 30-foot lots in there too, there's several 30-foot.
Well, they're not any houses on a 30-foot.
I know they got one
There
house
was.
there now.
There was some.
We have 30-foot lots all over the city.
Right,
30-foot
right.
lots. I mean, we know that. You know, not saying I'm for or against or anything, it just seems like there's no process here, and it seems, you know, when we were on a zoning board for years, Cindy, when we started together, sometimes we go with neighborhood norm to make our decisions. And if you've got 75% of the houses or 60% of the houses at 50-foot lot, why can't this guy get a shot to get it at 50-foot lot? It's not like he's doing a 50 by 100, he's doing a 50 by 180, 190.
You'd have to
It's
change,
huge
you'd have
lots.
to amend the plan.
Right, we'd have to
But
change
that
the
would
ordinance.
change everything in that thing. It would change everything in the whole subdivision.
Right, but if
And
there's
it would
a
also
ordinance,
change Colonial, which has nothing less than 75 on it.
right, but he is considered part
Because
of that
this one
state.
piece in Glenwood is booked in with Colonial Club Estates.
Because at the time, that part of I think that was one of the first parts, one of the first newer parts. The 30-foot lots on the opposite side came in first. Then the lots alongside Colonial Country Club came in second, but at different times, am I right,
Yeah.
former
Yeah, it
mayor?
was-
You would know.
Such a point. of view
No,
before,
you would
but
know about it.
Don't scare me like that. I didn't remember that.
You sure? Get a little break right now.
No, but you have a situation on Glenwood where you have 60-foot lots on the country club side, and on the other side, you have 50-foot
And
lots.
75-foot lots also on
And you have
the Gulf Coast
75.
Well, you guys,
And
it
you
might
have
not make
100-foot
sense.
lots, and you have this 100-foot lot. There's other 100-foot
Well,
lots.
that's all over the city.
Yeah, I mean, it
Yeah.
might make sense, but there's an ordinance that protects that subdivision, right?
That's right.
Yeah, you guys are in a position where you can't knowingly violate the law. You wanted to consider amending that ordinance. And I did speak with Mr. Cook as well. We all know he's a nice person. I spoke to him at last. And I told him I can't give him legal advice, but that if I had to make a recommendation to you guys, if this was the approach that was taken, you can't violate the law. And the ordinance right now is that it's required 75-foot frontage. Then you get into other issues, like you said, if there were 10 other 50s on that street, we'd probably have to look at it maybe a different way. I'm saying on that same side of the street, in the same subdivision, Colonial Estates.
But they're
I could
not,
recommend.
because the other
And I
side.
told him that, and I told Mr. Cook that. I did speak to him.
Anyone else have a discussion?
Yes, please. The other side of the street, just so people are aware, Glenwood has actually 3 different subdivisions on it. You have on the, and I'm gonna call it the east side, west side, and then north-south. On the east side, which faces Colonial Club, the first about 10, 15 lots are in one subdivision, maybe a little further down. Then the next, and the rest going all the way to the river is part of Colonial Estates. The ones in the front are different. On the other side on the west side of our street, all the way up and down, is another subdivision. And they have their own rules and regulations. It just so happens that this law that was created in 97, those people came to us, or to them at that time, to the council at that time, and asked to have 75-foot lots, because they had 100 and 150-foot lots somewhere, and they didn't want these little small houses. So that's why, and on lots, so that's why they wanted a large
And I
subdivision.
think they felt that they had title restrictions.
And they had
or covenant
title restrictions,
So they
covenant
wanted to
on it.
make it consistent with covenant restrictions.
Right.
And that's gone back. I think I started.
You'd have to title search to find out whether that actually
I
happened.
was a huge proponent of getting that back in place. And
Right.
found out that title restrictions really, they're hard to enforce, or neighborhood, whatever you call them, they really need to be in the ordinance. So that's what happened there. And I really had no idea back then that Glenwood was involved in that subdivision.
Yeah.
It was Colonial and the west side of OK and Colonial Lane. as
Yeah, because Okay's in that too.
Yeah, the west side.
Mhm. Right,
I
so,
mean, these are issues that y'all could address, but it would require change in the ordinance.
And, and I told I told
Carving out
Ross that that would never
I'd
happen.
have to defer.
Colonial is not gonna change that.
As far as planning and doing all that.
But that would bring Colonial Club and drive all into that too.
right, because all of Colonial Club is in that, if I'm not mistaken.
It is.
The Colonial Club golf course. And I don't know what subdivision that's in. I don't know. It is? I think it
don't even know
is
that's in
too,
a
I'm not
subdivision.
sure.
I don't know if that's even in a subdivision. They don't have any voting rights. It's 3 tracks.
You guys, we have an ordinance, we have, I mean, the
Right.
city has an ordinance, we should protect the integrity of that property and the
No,
property owners on that.
And I agree with that, Councilman. It just seems odd that there's no avenue for somebody to try something like that. I mean, if I was sitting on that kind of side of the property, I'd want to try something. I mean,
Well, the issue is he's got the square footage,
yes.
so he doesn't have the front.
Theoretically,
Right, front footage.
then at the front.
So what do we do with this? Do we table it? Confirm?
And then Charles, and if you vote on it, you can't bring it back up, as you know, for years. 2 years, I'm sorry, it used to be a year, we changed it to 2 years.
I don't know
can't
if
go
we
against
can
it.
vote on it.
Sure,
At the
it's a-
same time, and look, I have no knowledge of this, I don't know what his plans are after if you guys voted down, he has a remedy, he could file a lawsuit against us. I'm not saying he is or not.
Right, he's never mentioned that to me.
No, me either, I'm saying
Right.
he's not here tonight, so we can't really ask him what his thoughts are on it, if he would want us to go forward or not. And I don't know if anybody's spoken to him.
That's strange too, on how serious he is, if you didn't go to planning and zoning to present it, and he's not here tonight to discuss it.
I think his attorney went to that, though, if I remember.
No.
No.
No?
Nobody's.
I'd like to get a new,
law, they can apply for appeals, they can apply for this subdivision. And in my opinion, and this is not a legal opinion, and I defer to our city attorney, Mr. Porcel, of course, but from a planning perspective, 2 approaches could have been made. One is, they could have asked us to change the zoning ordinance, okay? Could have come in to change the text. The text clearly says that you can't have a 50-foot lot there. This is a 50-foot lot, it violates the text. You want a 50-foot lot there? Ask us to change the text. Okay, that would have been a whole avenue, and then if the text had been changed, plain vanilla subdivision request like this would have been approved almost administratively. It would have met the letter of the law. Now, didn't choose to go that way. What's the other approach? And this is the way other communities have handled it. Is to let the subdivision request go forward, but realize that since you weren't going to change the law, there's only one other way you can change the law in a community, and that is to go to the Board of Adjustment and ask them to consider granting a variance. Now, what is a variance? A variance is an exception to the law based on a hardship. So theoretically, any citizen can come and say, I would like to request a variance from the law, an exception to the law for my particular situation, because I have some sort of a hardship, whatever that hardship is. We know there's 9 criteria that you have to meet the hardship rules. But again, any citizen can ask that. So other communities have had the same situation, and they have gone forward with it. And let's say theoretically you were inclined to approve this, you could approve it, other communities have done this, with the condition that it would be referred to the Board of Adjustment and have to go through the variance process. Because I think Councilman Landry is right, you can't violate your own law. You can't pass a law that violates your law. But you could pass a motion that has a condition that sends this person to ask for a variance. Now, I know it's much more cumbersome, it's another whole standard, the person would have to go back through the process again, and that is a theoretical way to do this. What happened at the Planning Commission, you know, it took 3 months for this case to make it through the Planning and Zoning Commission because we didn't have a quorum for one meeting. Meeting wasn't advertised correctly for another meeting, and finally the 3rd meeting, which was this past month, it was considered with quite a robust debate, as you can see from the minutes, and the Planning and Zoning Commission unanimously recommended denial. So it's a denial, a recommendation, which now you have to overturn if you're inclined to by a supermajority, and the only other way.
Not a supermajority, 3 would go past it.
Three would overturn the negative recommendation of the Planning Commission. But again, you could change your own, you could pass anything that violates your own law. So in my opinion, you'd have to send it back like other communities do to get the variance, or.
But can you send it back before they?
What's a conditional?
Well, that's what I
It's a
mean.
conditional
I
approval.
think they would have to approve it, which I
That's-
don't know if they want to do that conditionally upon the granting of the variance, which
Well,
now you got an approval and you're
I
telling.
couldn't
you're
agree
telling
more, and
the
I defer to
variance
you.
board- I'm just saying.
yes.
just thinking it out loud,
Mhm.
because that was something, I don't know if you and I talked about it, he and I, somebody, it might have been you,
Yeah.
it was us. But when I think about it, you know, you're sending them, to the variance board, you're saying, hey, the council approves this if you give them the variance.
Yeah.
I mean, but I will say, I do think that we have done this before. And I'm trying to think of what it was it not on Oak Street? Man, I thought we had one, but it was shy on a couple feet. It wasn't 20 feet.
We voted down, does he have to wait 2 years before he applies for a variance?
Well, he wouldn't be able to apply for a resale.
You're voting down a subdivision request.
So he wouldn't be able to variance.
Now theoretically, this could be denied tonight, and a citizen could come and say, I'd like to change 1333. And we could start that whole process, but that'd be the text change, okay? You know, if we had a series of these requests in this neighborhood, and we could see that there's a change going on here, and we had the wrong information in our zoning ordinance, and we go out and do an analysis and say, you know what, it's time to look at updating this, it's not working. But this is, go back to the variance, an isolated case, one lot, that's a variance, because the applicant is asking, based on hardship, give me an exception to the rule. And citizens can ask for that, and if they can make the case, they can get it.
And the question is, right now, at this moment, you have 9 criteria for it. This is an empty lot. Am I right? This is an empty lot.
Yes.
It's 100 by.
Yeah, I don't think he's saying it would pass. I think he's just
186.
saying that would be a process.
This is an empty lot. There's no hardship.
But, you know, the variance
Out of the
was,
9
the variance
criteria
was
that we know.
autonomous. We
Right.
don't know.
I
They
understand.
have to
So we
consider.
said,
But-
right, that would consider. I
Right.
understand.
But there is no hardship.
Not for us to say.
So what's the recommendation? Do we vote, table, or defer?
We don't vote on variances.
No, I
right now,
know we
yes,
don't.
this ordinance.
But here's the point. We know what the 9 criteria are, or
I
should.
don't think it's proper to discuss the variance board decision.
I'm not doing a variance board decision. I'm telling you that there, right now, it is my belief that this property, even if it were to go to
Councilman
the.
Miller, you are, basically, if the variance board is watching this, you basically tell them not to vote on this. 'cause
No,
we're
I'm not.
we're
I'm telling you
for it.
my opinion. And my opinion is that if it were to go back to the variance board, it is an empty lot of record at the moment. It is a lot of record. It has 9 criteria, and there is no hardship.
It's not
And that is my
It's not my
opinion.
call, because
That was
sometimes
discussed
board,
with
they
the
get
zoning
their
board,
own.
and they said there was no hardship.
That is not my, that is
Thank
my.
you,
You don't
Mr.
understand my
Alonso,
point.
we appreciate you. Any further discussion?
I call for vote.
Now, do you want to vote and reserve the right for this guy to come back another year or not? I know, but they can
If I'm
reserve
gonna
the
vote on
right
this
to come
ordinance,
back
as a
and.
on face value of this ordinance, I'm voting no. Because it just, I don't know how it's gonna work. I just don't think it's right.
Can they do
I
that?
hate to do that to this fellow.
All right, vote was called for, all in favor? Any opposed?
Yeah.
Any,
Wait, you're calling for, to vote this down? It's yay for me. Nay for me, I'm sorry, it's nay for me.
let's try it again.
Yes.
We got yea, nays, and abstentions. All those
Be a
in
nay.
favor?
What's the vote, what's the motion?
We're voting.
It's on
To
the ordinance.
approve, to
To
approve
approve
the.
the resale.
Just voted nay.
Oh,
You asked
oh,
everybody in favor, and nobody said anything, so nays automatic.
Yeah, we didn't hear 2 people.
5-0?
5, nays.
5 nays.
Ordinances for introduction, we have none, Madam Clerk?
No, sir.
Unfinished business, we have none?
No, sir.
Okay, what kind of new business we got?
Let's see, new business. The Assembly of 3226 Pope John Paul II, which is part of the Knights of Columbus, would like permission to sell beer and wine at the State Convention Dinner on April 14, 2012, at St. Rita campus after 4 p.m.
A
Mass.
motion?
Motion.
Motion?
Second.
Motion by Murray, second by Hewitt, all in favor? Any opposed, 5 yeas, no nays. Next, Madam Clerk?
St. Rita of Cassina Parish asks for assistance in planning the annual Eucharistic and May crowning procession. The procession is scheduled for Sunday, May 6, 2012, after the 11:30 a.m. Mass. They would like us to provide barricades and a police escort.
Mayor's that phone.
No. All those in favor?
Yay.
Any opposed? 5 yeas, no nays.
Hold on, when is it? May 6th?
May 6th.
Is that project gonna be finished?
What?
Is that, you think the project gonna be finished out there? Did it actually go on Bird Street?
Nope.
No.
probably gonna have to make it down to Friday or whatever the next day is.
Well, let's see what
They
happens.
may have to go one more block down and come across.
We'll play it, we'll see next month. Next, Madam Clerk,
Police grant.
Chief? Yeah.
Okay, Mayor, Council, I wanted to explain this grant. We put in for a grant regarding a license plate recognition camera. Proud to announce that we applied for this grant under the State Homeland Security Equipment Program that's under UWASI, Urban Statistical Analyze Initiative Program. We requested, we're getting $30,000 to do that. Harahan is gonna have to pay about $10,000 of that. However, thanks to Norman and JP's kindness, they're gonna install those cameras for us for free using their manpower and their equipment. What this does is when a vehicle comes into Harahan, the camera will take a picture of the license plate, the car, and the occupants. Then, if they're a sex offender, career criminal, wanted, it's a stolen vehicle, it'll notify us real time in the dispatch, and then we can dispatch one of our units. So basically, it makes like protecting Harahan our own backyard. Best thing about this is, with the burglaries we have in Harahan sometimes, it allows us to use this as an investigative tool. So when we find out approximately what time it happened, we can go back and review these cameras and find out who came in and out of our city around those times. So it's a very valuable tool, and that's what the money will be used for. So we need to, but we have to pay up front. I believe it's $39,000, and then we'll get in return, I think almost immediately, we'll get $30,000 back.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Recreation Director, Steve Foley, will step up.
Do we get a vote?
Not grants. I'm nominating Steve Foley as the new Recreation Director for the city of Harahan. And before we take a vote, I would like to ask any questions, or what about you? All right. No one?
Ms. Stu would like to thank you for all your service prior to, and if you are approved here, we appreciate the service that you'll be doing in the future. You've done a good job at the boys so far, and we really do appreciate what you've done. I know you've gone above and beyond all these years, taking kids out to, and picking them up and bringing them home after practice and the whole bit, so we appreciate that.
They are definitely all my kids. but I
Yeah, they
appreciate
are your
it.
kids.
Thank you very
And
much.
remember the Harahan motto, no cheating.
Never, never. Thank you all very much.
Okay, all in favor?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Five years.
Thank you very much.
Anyone want to address the council? Now's the time to do it. The TP, you want to address the council?
Good evening, Eric Chatelain, 700 Colonial Club Drive. As most of y'all know, I'm running for Harahan City Council. I'm very excited. I need y'all support. I need people to get out there on March 24th and vote. Absentee voting's going on now at the Guinea Building, 5th floor. I do appreciate it. It has been a clean race, and I hope it stays that way. And look forward to serving on the council if I get y'all's vote. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else want to address the council?
Good evening, Greg Johnston, also run for Harahan Council. Just coming up to let everybody know, the election's coming up March 24th, special election, expecting a low turnout, please get out and vote. Every vote should count in this one. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else want to address the council? Madam Clerk, Secretary support.
Secretary, Ward.
So,
$421,886.05.
you gonna pay the bills?
The total bills paid in February, $274,262.41.
Chief, got a report?
Yes, sir. Good evening again. First thing I'd like to do is the crime statistics for last month. The number of calls for service was 856. Of those were 14 vehicle accidents. Number of citations issued was 251 citations. Number of charges was 380. We had 0 funeral escorts, 9 patrol requests. Last month, we had 90 arrests. Of those, we had 156 charges. 10 were traffic, 6 were felony, 117 of them for misdemeanors, and 23 of them were for city. Persons and property crimes, 0 murders, 0 rapes, 0 robberies, no attempted robberies. We did have 4 residential burglaries, no non-residential burglaries, 1 attempted burglary, no vehicle thefts, no attempted vehicle thefts. We had 6 larceny thefts and 7 assaults. I would also like to remind the public that we do have the crime prevention meeting coming up on March 23rd. Our first guest speaker is going to be Lieutenant John Stelly. He's out of Troop B. He's a good friend of mine. We went to the academy together. He is going to be talking about public safety in general. And the other night we were going over some of the statistics, and I was amazed. For instance, 60% of vehicle crashes involving fatalities are people who are not wearing their seatbelts. 60%. So we need to get out there and tell people you need to wear your seatbelt. In fact, I met with the Louisiana Highway Safety Commission 2 days ago in Baton Rouge, and we were going to get some grant money to pay our officers additional funds to go out there and write seatbelt tickets. So we're going to be out there writing a lot more seatbelt tickets, so please wear your seatbelts. We're also going to be conducting some joint DWI task force operations.
When is your meeting and where?
Oh, the crime prevention meeting, it's always going to be the 4th Friday of every month at 1 o'clock at the Senior Center. So this one will be on, I believe it's the 23rd, is that correct, Mayor? 4th Friday?
Friday.
Yes, next
Okay.
Friday.
Next Friday, that's correct. We're also going to be conducting a DWI checkpoint. With the assistance of Louisiana State Police and JPSO, we'll announce that, but we are going to have some checkpoints coming up as well. So please be reminded to wear your seatbelt, and the legal limit now is only a 0.82 grams per cent. I'm sorry, 0.085 grams per cent. So if you've been drinking, please don't hesitate to give your friend a call. It's not worth it. Upcoming training. Our officers were trained by ex-special forces guys with extensive military training background in an active shooter response to the school. What they did is everyone with our department went to the schools and trained as if they had an active shooter there, how to respond to it. So not only did they learn the tactics, they learned the area. So if they did have to respond to something like that, they would know how to handle it. I know it's something no one wants to think about, but that's what we do. We train for the whole spectrum. So, God forbid, if something like that happened, we'll be able to respond to it, we'll be able to handle it quickly. These same guys, which I'm proud to say, Navy SEALs, Delta Force, they're the real things. They go over to Afghanistan, Iraq, they're coming back. And I noticed that most of our calls are medical calls in here. We have a lot of them. So they're going to come back, and they got some combat medics, and they're going to teach our guys. They've already been taught CPR and stuff like that. We're going to take it one step further. They're going to teach these guys how to put tourniquets on. What if they have an open wound? What if they have a collapsed lung? And we're going to put all our guys through that training at no cost to the city. So I'm proud to announce that. Anything else?
The residential burglaries, were that in one neighborhood, maybe for large people, or were they kind of spread out?
They were mostly spread out. We're working on them, and I think we solved at least one of them now. We continue to investigate the others.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
You want to have a report, Chief?
All right.
All right, report, Councilman? Councilman Murray?
Just,
Tell me.
yeah, we have actually a very special thing that's going on. The mayor this week signed the contract for us to get our court paperless system in. Yay. We got the $30,000 grant. that had been worked on. We've gotten that for the court's software. We have in right now a $15,000 grant for the equipment, which we actually really expect to get that. They've been in contact with the TRCC, and they are said that there shouldn't be any problem. I think they meet in May, and will be approving it to take care of a complete court system. The next part of that is going to be that this paperless court system is going to hook up with the police department to work on getting that part paperless. So we've got some paperless things coming down the way. There's a lot of stages, and we are the top three, us, Kenner, and Mandeville, City of Mandeville, are the three that the state of Louisiana has chosen that we have put in. It has been many hours writing this report, writing this program. They've spent somewhere between $500,000 to write this program, and we are the three cities that they've chosen. So congratulations to everybody who's worked very hard on it. We're very happy that this has happened, and I believe next week we're going to start working on implementation. And I know the ladies in the court are going to be absolutely excited because they've been dealing with a court system that's probably from 1980, and it just doesn't do. The one main thing about this is that this court reporting system is going to put us up to speed with the mandates that have come down from the state, that we are able to do the right thing and to be able to do our reporting properly to the state. And that's an excellent thing. So I just want to let everybody know we're very excited. Thank the mayor for doing his due diligence on it and so forth. And I'm telling you, I can't tell you how excited we are about this. And I know the ladies, like I said, are ecstatic. The other thing is I wanted to thank, no, don't have that. Okay, that's it. That's my report.
I want to thank Councilman Murray for participation in exercise of time, effort, energy in obtaining this grant also. Colonial Country Club is at 88-acre parcel of land, green space right now in the city of Harahan. Colonial Country Club presently is in bankruptcy. That bankruptcy proceeding will last probably a few more months, if not longer. As of this date, March 15th, 2012, the city has received no application for either a re-subdivision or a zoning change or a lot change or anything. There's been no plan submitted in writing to the city of Harahan concerning what project or project should be completed on that 88-acre parcel of land. Now, there are several groups of people vying for ownership of that property. The city has met with the Conservation Trust group out of San Francisco, California, and has obtained information from them on the possible utilization of their resources to partner up with whoever ends up buying the Colonial Country Club. There are several groups of individuals who have partnered up to try and secure the ownership of the club. One group wants to put basically a home, a large home in the rear by the river, some commercial in the front, and some green space and residential in the middle. Another group wants to put some residential in the back, some residential in the front, a 9-hole golf course in the middle, and some residential surrounding the golf course. Another group wants to put some residential in the back, some residential in the front, and a lot of green space in the middle. At the end of the day, who's going to end up with the property, we do not know. But the city government obviously has to inform whoever develops Colonial that they have to submit plans for sewage, proper sewage, drainage, proper drainage, which may include a mini pump to the river for drainage, streets, lights, perhaps a fire substation, depending on what they're doing with that property. There may have to be placed a new lift station or sewer plant on the property. It may cost whoever develops this parcel of land maybe $3 to $7 million before they can even attempt to put one home there or something else there. In the event something should be done on the first 15 or 20 acres, there has to be adequate buffer space. There has to be adequate beautification. There has to be adequate compliance with not disrupting the quality of life that the citizens of Harahan have learned to expect. So there's a whole lot to be done, and anyone that comes to City Hall now, I tell them, I think, in my opinion, it's probably gonna take a minimum of 10 months, probably, before they can dig a first little shovel of dirt out of there. Going through all the regulations, all the surveys, all the traffic studies, whatever study is necessary, we're gonna require. Basically, we have an 88 parcel of land, which is now zoned residential, which no one has tried to change, which in the future, if someone does try to change it, they have to go through a series of application, planning and zoning meetings, council meetings and votes, perhaps deferrals to examine more about everything. You know, I'm not trying to dissuade anything, but I can tell you this, the next two guys who end up vying for this council, whoever wins, probably won't get to vote on this thing for another 4 years. So it's gonna take a long process. And I just hope that everyone is patient about it. Now, who's got some ideas? What should we do if we end up with green space at Colonial? My cell number is 883-1969. I want your ideas. How can we develop the green space at Colonial? I don't know if we can put a golf course there. I don't know if the economy will allow a golf course there in today's market. But what can we do with it? Can we put a zoo there? What can we do? Can we put picnic tables?
I'll vote no to zoo.
In other words, let's come up with some creative ideas of what we can do there. I know other people have traveled outside of our community. What's going on in Connecticut, in New York, in Boston, Nashville? What are they doing with their green space? Anything creative? Let's get some input in here. Let's stop griping and living in the past, and whatever's in the past happened in the past. We can't change that. We gotta live in the future. Live in the present and look to the future. What are your ideas? Come up with some things so we have some things to talk about. Call me at 883-1969. Give me your idea. What I normally do is I write it out and share it with the council people. I put it in their mailboxes. Maybe talk to a newspaper about it. But let's come up with as many ideas as we can to have something solid to discuss with whoever ends up buying this property, because at the end of the day, they're gonna want some concessions from us, and we're gonna want some concessions from them. And what we want is just to ensure that whatever is done with the property increases the land value of our citizens and affords the same or a better quality of life than they have now. Happy Easter, and we'll probably get another couple of nights of TV time. Don't forget to vote a week from Saturday, which would be March 24th. No. Yeah, March 24th, Saturday, Harahan election, as well as some other things on the ballot. Please, let's show our presence and make Jefferson Parish understand that we're a voting power. Councilman, what do you?
I wanted to thank
Lawrence Landry and Marty Landry for the father-daughter dance that they put on at St. Rita. That just passed. It was fun. My daughters loved going to it, and we had a good time. And Lawrence and Marty really know how to put on a good show, and it was just fun. I also want to thank Councilman McDaniel for stepping up to the plate here for the past 3 months and enduring his time with us and giving up 3 months of his life to be a part of this council. And he's a good friend of mine, and it really means a lot to me. A few years ago, when I won my first election, I was in the same spot as both Craig and Eric. I ran a special election. And it's an exciting time for these guys. And for me, I just really would like to thank the both of them for actually stepping up, you know, to get involved in this election and get involved in their city. They're both really young guys, real ambitious. I really like them both, and I wish both of them the best of luck. And I know that March 24th is in 1 week, and I'm sure that both of y'all can't wait for it to be over, because I know I was there too. So good luck to you guys, and if anyone would like to get in touch with me with any comments or concerns, my cell will always be on. It's 343-7762, 343-7762. Thank you, and happy Easter.
Councilman Virginia.
First off, I'd like to start with thanking Mayor, both the chiefs, council. These 3 months have been, I'd be lying if I say I wasn't nervous coming in. It's been a learning experience. I've enjoyed it. I thought sitting in jury duty was exciting. Just put it on another level. I do look forward to raising my family in Harahan the rest of my life. In the great city that it is, and volunteering, getting involved as needed. Again, it was an honor to sit up here, to learn, to be involved. I'm not sure where the future will bring.
I certainly want to thank Councilman McDaniel for his service and your kind words. It's not an easy job sometimes, and I appreciate you sitting there. You can see you're very good friend. Thank you. But I'm a little disappointed. McDaniel didn't wear green tonight. Councilman Baudier's sentiments exactly. I have written down. Thank you, Craig and Eric, for putting yourself up. It's sometimes it's a tough job, and this seat gets really hot sometimes. I've run a very clean race, which is wonderful. And one of the reasons I like Harahan running is it's usually the top 5, and you really don't have to go negative. Everybody's running for a top 5. Because when you run against each other, it's very easy to go negative, and it just puts everything in a bad light. So we appreciate it. I wish y'all both the best of luck. And I appreciate you putting yourself up. I've often said our parents built this great city, and I take it as my personal responsibility to maintain the quality of life in Harahan, and I find this is the best way I can do it. And I appreciate you doing it. We need more people to get involved. Congratulate Stu Foley, our new director at the playground, well deserved. Thank Mrs. Gunkel for her years of service. She's still at the playground. They just swapping some positions. And I think that's it. Happy St. Patrick, happy Easter. Oh, thank Madam Clerk for our emails. They're wonderful. No paper.
Motion to adjourn? By McDaniel, second by Bouvier, all in favor?
Caldwell?
Thank you,